Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for inviting me today, and also thank you for also waking me up this morning at 5 o'clock. It gave me the opportunity to be nervous 3 more hours than I have expected to. What I would try to do for the next half an hour is going through the process where we have used the EFQM business model from a reactive stage until proactive stage. We have worked with the model for 4.5 years, and during that period we have used it for continuous improvement. And as you see, our turnover on the bottom part of the overhead have also raised dramatically. In Christmas time 94, when we started our journey, we chose 3 methods or theories, or whatever you would call it: the quality pyramid, the EFQM model, and the ISO system. The first one, the pyramid, it has become a kind of how we behave in the organization. We have small models of this pyramid all over our offices. And in the beginning of 95, all our goals was set on the triangles. That means that we have set goals for each of the triangles. For example, total participation means that we measure that everybody in the organization participate in the cross-functional work. Management commitment, we measure that the management team involves and spend money and time and energy on this process. And continuous improvement. In our house, nothing is good enough just doing the same tomorrow. I am sure that you know the model, but the model for us during those 4.5 years has become a holistic leadership model. And I think we have shifted from quality to leadership using the model to check if the enablers are doing the right things for our results. And on one of my assessor courses in Brussels, I learned that if you use the model in a total way, then it's very, very easy to have an ISO certificate also. I know that I disagree with some of you, but nevertheless, that was what we did. Just a few key figures so you can see that we are really a small company. Last year, we had 54 employees. We have increased with nearly 10 new employees this year, but still we are a small organization. We measure on a scale from 1 to 5 our customers, employee, and suppliers, and every year we have done continuous improvement within these figures. And all 3 years we have been finalists the first year, then winner of the prize, and in 99 award winner. These are some of our customers, and you might recognize some of the logos. And I would say, I would very much like to have some Swiss logos up there. Our product, it's open courses, it's company-specific course where we do all the work for a specific company, a corporate university, some companies call it, and then some consultant services. And the areas are from leadership, management, project, quality, and IT. We don't want to put our organization chart as small boxes. Therefore, we choose a circle. Those departments up there, they are headed by a head of department, and some of them are quite small, from 6 people up to 16 people. And they are totally responsible for everything in that department: research and development, quality figures, net result, hiring, firing people, etc. And in the middle, we have our staff functions. We don't have any lectures ourselves. You could say that it's a virtualized lectures, but we use lectures from all over the world, from leading management schools and a lot Danes, of course. And we find those and employ them for 1 day, half a day, or 5 or 6 days. But they are a very important part of our company, as it is there our customer see our product. But also, we have formed 2 cross-functional groups, which I would come back to, one named Kind and another one named Mind. The people in our organization work at the moment approximately 15% of their time in those cross-functional groups. Normally people ask me, is this just a religion for you? And this slide shows that during the period where we started our quality journey, 94 here, we have more than doubled our turnover and equity, and we have only employed 5 people. So the model have helped us to a lot higher quality level and earning more money. Now back to Christmas 94, where we start what we at that time thought was a project with a fixed ending time next year. We founded a steering group. I headed the steering group, but no other managers was in that steering group. It was employee people and the group was cross-functional. That meant that up there was the entire knowledge of what was going on in the company. So that steering committee have now worked for 4.5 years, and more than 100, exactly 103 ad hoc groups have worked, some for a couple of days, others for half a year. They have been voted, they have volunteered to join these project groups, and they have worked with all kinds of improvements in the company. An important issue back in 95 was giving this project, now a process, a name and using some of our own logos. So if you are going to start a quality journey, don't use any of the boss management word. Create your own name, your own logo. Back at the 10th of January 95, we set up some objectives. And these are the original objectives. And as you can see, for those of you who have used the model, we thought that it would be possible at that time in January to go from 450 points and then have additional 100 points within a quarter. And for those of you who have worked with the model know it's impossible. But nevertheless, we have kept our goals from that time. And you can see we nearly reach our goals. And our goal about the ISO certificate, we met that. Now to the first phase, phase 1, where we just reacted to whatever happened. The first thing we did was, in this phase, we did 3 self-assessments. And to go in front, I made the first one. And I must say, that was hard work. I think it was the first time since I left the university that I had to write a report for 40 pages. But I think I learned a lot of it. And in that period, 3 self-assessments was written. The problems in those 3 self-assessments is up here. And I know that you might laugh, but remember, this is 95. But at that time, nobody had a PC. Not everybody had a PC. So these problems was identified in the self-assessments. And all the ad hoc groups worked with the actions. And that meant it wasn't the management, it wasn't me who really did the work. It was the employees in the company. The first thing, Mitarbeiterzufriedenheit, I learned this morning. It's even a worse name in Denmark. The first thing the employee wanted to do, because it was their decision in January 95 to do a survey. We knew absolutely nothing about this area at that time. In the meantime, we have dug deeply into this area and are kind of specialist in Denmark at the moment. But these were the figures in January 95. At that point, I had made a very big mistake. I had promised the organization to go on with a new analysis in June. And I had promised that if not 60% of the employees was in the 2 highest categories, then I would do improvements for those areas. And I can tell you it was a very hard job, because we did another mistake, and that was that the questionnaire was of 100 questions. So we had 25 questions who was under the target. But we worked extremely hard in many ad hoc groups during that spring. And I think that convinced all the employees that it was worth working with this. And you could see what happened. After that, we have had a very, very, very stable quality level. But the kind project dropped. That was exactly the time where we got the ISO certificate. And the management team are not that popular anymore. So the figures are high compared to other benchmark areas, but it tells us where we have the weak spots. We did exactly the same with customers and suppliers, but I haven't got the time today to talk about that. We learned that it is very important to have all the quality figures visible. In our reception area, we have a screen showing all the figures from the previous months and the previous years. It's a PowerPoint slide presentation with 16 pages. And all the employees, all our customers who visit our premises north of Copenhagen can see the figures. And if you visit our website, you will see that all quality figures for all our last 3 courses are available for our customers. It's dangerous, but it keeps the spirit in the organization providing good quality, or always providing good quality. And I can tell you that the employees are not very satisfied with those small marks on the screen visible for everybody. Now, in the active phase, I think we used a lot of the help we got from the assessors. So we focused on the strengths and areas for improvement. In this period, we did 2 self-assessments. And to be honest, at this time, the management team felt a little bit lazy. They had discovered that some of the employees, and quite rather a lot of those of my employees, had gone further than the management team. They had a better knowledge about the model than the management team. So the management team decided to do the first self-assessment against the SME model and to ask EFQM for self-assessment in this one. So the areas for improvement, the assessors told us there wasn't a clear planning process. We found out, working with criteria 6, that the domestic market was too small, and we hadn't a decent way of introducing continuous improvement. Some example of this was our strategy process. Discussion with the board, then we do the self-assessment, point out strengths and areas for every criteria, set up targets, and then go on for strategies, action plans, and budgets. But most important is that up here, already up here, we involve our employees. At the moment, 60% of our employees have a budget responsibility. So this method is deployed extremely in our organization. Kind days, everybody gets together, talked about problems in one of the surveys being conducted. Different topics every half a year. I know it's expensive, and I know that it's only possible to do in fairly small companies, but you benefit enormous by involving everybody. Everybody is being heard. One of these kind days, we worked with our values, and the assessors have told us that our values, they were good, but they could check by asking the employees what was behind the values, but it was very, very difficult to read it. So on one of those days, we asked all the employees to write our values down in very, very small sentence. And lucky-wise, there was an extremely overlap by the big paper. And we measure those in our surveys now. As I told you, the domestic market was too small, so we set up a goal that 25% of turnover was coming from international training activities by the year of 2000. It was a very high goal as our domestic turnover raised during that period too. So we won't be able to reach that target, but the mean to be known as a very small company outside Copenhagen was to win the European Quality Prize, and we got the award in '99. So this is the reason why we have been known in Europe, and already in December last year, we got international customers who have nothing to do with the Danish market. In the last phase 3, the proactive phase, we did one self-assessment, and that was the one also done by an ad hoc group, and that was the award-winning self-assessment. At that time, half of the company have been involved in writing 1 or 2 criteria. The areas for improvement there was quite a lot. The most important one was that we discovered that during the 3-year period, we have looked too much inside the organization and haven't looked enough outside the organization. So a new cross-functional group was founded. And we found out that our old name, Danish Engineers Postgraduate Institute, wasn't very good if we were going to work internationally. So the first one, creating a new group, the Mind Group, which had responsibility for key account teams, restructuring our whole database, etc., have worked for 2.5 years now. We bought up 2 companies to facilitate more internal training. We designed a new logo and we got a new name, but the abbreviation was still the same. It saved us a lot of money. So the big event in October in Brussels where we got the award. And normal-wise, this could be the last slide, but that's not the case for us. I know that EFKM is not very fond of these slides, but we try to look at the model in a little different way. We divide it into 3 blocks: the people, strategy, and leadership. That's where we do the thinking. And then the process and the partnership resources, that's where we do. And then afterwards, we can measure the results if they are right. If not, go back. And that leads me to that little circle. And what I found out is that many, many companies, both in Denmark and in Europe, They are extremely good in plan and do, but extremely bad in checking. And I think that the management and leadership theories throughout the 70s and 80s, we had the word control. It was a bad word. But what we have built in the model now is a control system so the employees can control themselves. That means that the controlling process is an ongoing progress and not done by the management team. And therefore, I think the circle works in our organization. Also, EFQM launched the new radar principle. And what we have done here since we have had the award is reviewing the way we work with our small ad hoc groups. So last month, we decided to merge the kind and mind groups and create one new group named Pint. And we have now seen that we have worked from 94, Christmas with the Kind, to September 97 with the Mind, and now from January 2000, and now the focus up on the processes, therefore the P in Pint. One could ask, where do we get the energy? I think one of my answers is split the project in small details so your employee can see where you are now and where you want to go in half a year period, or 3 months or 4 months. And then when you are nearly on the top in one of your projects, then tell them, we're going to do something new. That creates a culture where everybody is used to changes. And I think that's what we are all going to face during the next 10 years. Ich hoffe, dass Sie alle meine englische Vortrag verstanden haben. Wenn diese nicht der Fall ist, liegt er als Übersetz auf folgender Webadresse. Ich danke Ihnen für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit.
Thank you, very impressive. Thank you, Mr. Casparij, for your excellent presentation. Your example demonstrates how great success comes with leadership, application of the excellence model, and a great dedication to keep moving and improving continuously and proactively. Thank you very much. Und nun, meine Damen und Herren, die letzte Verschnaufpause vor dem großen Finale der Preisverleihung. Bitte vergessen Sie nicht, Ihre bisherigen Eindrücke auf dem Feedback-Formular festzuhalten und abends einzuwerfen. Und nun machen wir 25 Minuten Pause. 5 vor halb 4 treffen wir uns wieder hier. Dankeschön.
Dear Noah, we have 2 news for you. One good, one bad. The bad news. A big flood is coming. The earth will be washed away with all the living creatures on it. The good news. You are going to survive it. But of saving the future of every living creature. Good luck.
No solution to a big problem landed safely on a mountain in an ancient country. Now the same country, at the turn of a new century, will host a meeting on managing diversity to explore new frontiers to excellence. Managing Diversity, a Bridge to Excellence. The next EFQM Forum is going to take place in Istanbul on the 27th and the 28th of September 2000. Come and join the journey.
Ja, meine Damen und Herren, kehren wir zurück vom warmen, schönen Orient in die kalte luzernische Schweiz und in die erwartungsvolle Hitze des gespannten Saalpublikums. Wer jetzt gewinnen wird? Wer hat denn gewonnen? Eigentlich alle, die teilgenommen haben. Nur einige etwas mehr. Aber alles der Reihe nach. Zuerst möchte ich ganz herzlich begrüßen bei uns Herrn Rainer Gut, Präsident des Verwaltungsrates der Credit Suisse Group, der die Preisträger auszeichnen wird. Herzlich willkommen. Dann freue ich mich, den Präsidenten der Esprix-Jury, Herrn Professor Segezzi, bei uns willkommen heißen zu dürfen. Er wird Sie kurz in die Arbeit seiner Jury Einblick nehmen lassen und wird Ihnen anschließend verraten, wer die Finalisten waren. Herr Segezzi hat maßgeblich am Modell des europäischen Excellence-Modells mitgearbeitet und bringt zudem seine große Erfahrung als Mitglied der Jury des European Quality Award bei uns ein. Das ist uns eine große Hilfe und bürgt für die hohe Qualität unserer Assessoren und unserer Bewertungen. Ich bitte nun Herrn Segezzi auf die Bühne. Willkommen.
Meine Damen und Herren, die Jury hat die Aufgabe, aus den Bewerbern und Bewerberinnen die Besten herauszufinden und sie auszuzeichnen. Eine Jury, deren Zusammensetzung Sie in Bälde hier sehen werden. Das ist eine sehr schöne Aufgabe, aber auch eine sehr anspruchsvolle Aufgabe. Denn gelänge es uns nicht, die Besten zu wählen, würden wir dem Esprix schaden. Es muss Vertrauen in den Esprits vorhanden sein. Die Gewinner, die Preisträger müssen als Vorbild wirken. Als Vorbild, denen andere nacheifern. Nur dann erfüllt die ganze Aktion mit den vielen Aktivitäten und den vielen engagierten Leuten, nur dann gewinnt diese Aktion, nur dann erfüllt sie ihren Zweck. Bevor ich Ihnen die Finalisten vorstelle, möchte ich Sie kurz in die Arbeit der diesjährigen Jury einführen. Warum? Damit Sie Vertrauen in unsere Arbeit gewinnen, damit Sie sehen, wie wir vorgegangen sind. Wir sind dieses Jahr in 3 Schritten vorgegangen. In einem ersten Schritt haben wir die Art der Auszeichnung diskutiert und festgelegt. In einem zweiten Schritt haben wir die Finalisten bestimmt. In einem dritten Schritt haben wir dann die Preisträger und den Gewinner des Esprix Awards festgelegt, auserkoren. Warum brauchten wir den ersten Schritt? Weil wir im letzten Jahr mit unserer Art der Auszeichnung zu Recht auf Kritik gestoßen sind. Wir haben damals, wenn Sie sich erinnern, 2 Kategorien gehabt. Eine Kategorie für Große und eine für KMU. Das haben wir auch dieses Jahr. Und wir hatten für jede der beiden Kategorien 3 Preise, einen goldenen, einen silbernen und einen bronzenen zur Verfügung, zur Vergabe zur Verfügung, also insgesamt 6. Und wir haben nur 2 vergeben, weil uns die übrigen Bewerber nicht genügend Potenzial aufwiesen, nach unserer Einschätzung. Und das wurde missverstanden, dass man nur 2 Preise vergibt und dazu hin noch etwas abgestuft in einer Art, die man nicht verstanden hat. Und wenn man den Preis nicht versteht, dann gewinnen die Preisträger auch keine Anerkennung. Und wenn sie keine Anerkennung gewinnen, dann wirken sie auch nicht als Vorbild. Aus diesem Grund mussten wir uns zuerst einmal Gedanken machen, wie wollen wir denn dieses Jahr die Auszeichnungen vornehmen. Und wir haben uns nach intensiven Überlegungen dafür entschieden, genau das zu machen, was die EFQM mit Erfolg in den letzten Jahren gemacht hat. Nämlich pro Kategorie einen Gewinner des Awards. Und darüber hinaus für solche Unternehmen, die in ihrer Leistung sehr nahe kamen oder nahe kommen, Preise zu vergeben, Preisträger. Das war der erste Schritt. Als nächstes mussten wir die Finalisten auswählen. Finalisten sind solche, bei denen das Assessorenteam einen Besuch macht und verifiziert, ob die Angaben, die in der Anmeldung drinstehen, in der Applikation, ob die zurechtgemacht wurden. Man macht also eine Verifizierung und gibt einen wertvollen Feedbackbericht, der auf eigener Anschauung der Assessoren beruht. Ich muss an dieser Stelle die Qualifikation, die hohe Qualifikation der Assessoren hervorheben. Wir haben als Jury den Eindruck, dass wir hervorragend arbeitende, erfahrene Assessorenteams hatten. Und deren Arbeit führte zu einer Punktebewertung. Und aus Grund der Punktebewertung haben wir die Finalisten gewählt. Dabei kommt es darauf an, dass alle, die für einen Preis in Frage kommen, tatsächlich in die Finalrunde kommen, dass niemand vergessen wird. Wir haben 4 Finalisten bei den KMU gewählt, keinen bei den Großunternehmen. Das heißt, dieses Jahr wird es auch keinen Preis für Großunternehmen geben, wohl aber Awardgewinner und Preise bei den KMU. Diese 4 Finalisten wurden nun in der 3. Phase, im 3. Schritt besucht und anschließend hat die Jury sich die Punktebewertung, die ermittelten Fakten angesehen und gleichzeitig ein Hearing mit den Lead-Assessoren oder Lead-Assessoren durchgeführt. Daraus wurden dann die Preisträger gewählt und der Gewinner des Awards festgelegt, auserkoren. Die Namen der 4 Finalisten hören Sie nun als erstes. Wir machen das spannend, wir geben Ihnen eines nach dem anderen bekannt. Zunächst mal die 4 Finalisten. der 4. Es wird Ihnen nicht entgangen sein, dass Sie die Namen von 2 das letzte Mal schon gesehen haben. Denen besondere Gratulation. 3 der 4 werden mit Preisen ausgezeichnet. Dies geschieht durch Herrn Rainer Gut, den Verwaltungsratspräsidenten der Credit Suisse, zusammen mit Herrn Littke. Ich darf die beiden Herren bitten, zu mir auf die Bühne zu kommen. Einen Preis bekommt die Firma Hunziker & Co. in Winterthur. Ich möchte Herrn Christian Hunziker, Geschäftsführer, sehr herzlich dazu gratulieren. Bitte nehmen Sie nun Ihren Preis aus den Händen von Herrn Gut entgegen.
Ich war das letzte Jahr auch hier. Ich saß dort oben im zweiten Stockwerk und habe zugeschaut. Wir hatten mitgemacht, aber leider nicht gewonnen. Dieses Jahr stehen wir hier oben in Vertretung. Ich stehe hier in Vertretung aller meiner Mitarbeiter. Und ich habe das letzte Jahr etwas erlebt. Herr Meyerhofer hat hier oben gesagt, die Jury und die Assessoren haben super Arbeit geleistet. Und ich kann Ihnen nur sagen, das stimmt.
Ebenfalls einen Preis bekommt die Firma Meyerhofer AG Mellingen. Ich möchte Herrn Meyerhofer sehr herzlich gratulieren. Bereits zum 2. Mal bekommt er einen Preis. Großartig. Auch Sie bekommen ihn nun aus den Händen von Herrn Gut.
Ich habe meinen Partnern zu danken, zuallererst meinen Mitarbeitern, die sich um die ständige Verbesserung bemühen. Ich habe den Partnern zu danken, unseren Lieferanten, die uns unterstützen und begriffen haben, um was es geht. Und nicht zuletzt danke unseren Kunden, die immer wieder zurückkommen zu uns.
Und nun wird es spannend. Aus den Preisträgern, den 3, wurde der Gewinner des Awards, also die Nummer 1, gewählt. Und das ist die Zahnarztpraxis Dr. Roche Hart.
Die haben das nicht gewusst, nicht dabei.
Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Für uns ist dieser Preis eine große Freude, weil wir haben wirklich 2, 3 Überstunden dafür gemacht. Und es ist aber auch Verpflichtung. Verpflichtung, dass wir wirklich den TQM-Gedanken vermehrt auch in der Medizin weiterbringen wollen. Allen, die mitgeholfen haben, vor allem meinem Team, vielen, vielen herzlichen Dank.